What's up guys, and welcome back to Joe Gorchi Music. Now, as the title of this video suggests, so far this year in 2024 I've made $10,000 in beat sales, and I wanted to take this video as a chance to break down the fundamentals of what's helped me to be able to achieve this. Now, this is in the beat selling vlog format, so if you are new to this channel and don't watch my videos regularly, the whole point of this video is a transparent outlook into my own beat selling business, where I show you what it is I've been doing and where I'm driving traffic to my beats from. This isn't necessarily one of them videos which is going to break down 5 ways you can increase your beat sales. This is a free-flowing, transparent look at a beat store. So if you're new to beat selling especially, or you're wanting to try and understand the mechanics of running a beat store a bit better, this is the sort of content for you. This video isn't going to give you a hidden gem on how to make $10,000 worth of beat sales, but as I said, it's going to give you the perfect outlook of a beat store which can do that to help you going forward with your own beat store. So right now, drop any questions you have in the comments below in this video or throughout while you're watching this. If you have any questions, and I will answer them when this video is uploaded to the YouTube channel. And if you're not already, make sure you smash the subscribe button right now, as it's the best way to support the channel, and make sure you never miss a video. So let's get into the main fundamental of it. Now, firstly, let's talk about the statistics of it before I give you a breakdown of how my beat store is operating at the moment. So this spreadsheet right here, if you watch my videos regularly, you will completely recognize this. This is the Beat Selling Tracker 2024. It's basically an Excel spreadsheet, and this is how I've been able to track all my beat sales. Now, the reason why you want to track this sort of information is because you can start to understand patterns throughout the year of better times to sell beats. You can also track from last year's progress. There's just a lot of data here to consume, and we're going to touch on this spreadsheet a little bit more as the video goes on, but this is kind of just more of a reference point to show you how much I made so far this year, just so you know that I'm not chatting absolute rubbish. This is how much we've been selling so far. We have $10,000 that we've made so far this year. We're halfway through the year now, or just over. We're 6 months into the year. And we are also selling on BeatStars, Airbit, I don't know why I struggle to say Airbit, Soundi, and Invoices. Now, let's actually see this now in their individual platforms and show you how I've been driving traffic to it. So firstly, we're going to start with BeatStars. And I also want to show you as well what it kind of looks like in terms of views to sales as well, because if you're watching this, you might be interested in that. But firstly, we've made $5,784.60 on BeatStars so far this year. 8,000 gross with 1,735 in discount. Now, one thing I always want to really point out is the whole point of my beat selling model is I always try to incentivize with discounts. I'm very e-commerce in that aspect of my beat selling. I'm always trying to make artists who buy my beats feel like they're getting a really good deal. That's just the way that my business is set up. Other people who sell beats might just have a set figure and you just stick with it and hope you get beat sales, which is completely fine. There's no right or wrong way to do things. I just personally like to have bulk deals, regular sales on, because I kind of try to get that nice balance of it being a collaboration as well as a transactional aspect when it comes to selling beats. So yeah, so even though you could see this as money lost, I see this as kind of like what's been able to get me these amount of sales across the line. If I hadn't had the discounts on the beats, I wouldn't have even made that anyway gross, because I wouldn't have made these sales, because it was the discounts which drove the sales, which is 90 beats that we've sold. Now, we could break down the pro page to marketplace sales. These are the only 2 things I'm using nowadays. Players was basically my old website, and I launched my brand new website using Soundi, which I'll touch on in a second, which I launched in May. So as you can see, I haven't really made any sales since April using Blaze Players, because that was my old website. So the pro page is my main YouTube channel, getting sales from, and then marketplace is the BeatStars marketplace, which, to be fair, BeatStars marketplace has been a little bit better than it was. You can see here we had this really dead period from about February to May where the marketplace was getting no sales. But as the summer's gone on, it's started to pick up a bit. There's a couple of things I've been doing which I think have been contributing to that, which I will touch on a little bit more. Now, when it comes to the actual statistics of it, you can see here that I can only do in the last 90 days. Really frustrating that BeatStars doesn't let you see information for longer. But in the last 90 days, I've got 24,000 plays. I hope that's kind of like a rough estimate, so you can see how many plays I'm roughly getting compared to sales. So in every single week period, I'm getting about 1,000 to 2,000 plays a week. So take that information as you will. Free downloads as well. That's one of the big things I focus on, because I do email marketing campaigns. I do free downloads for email capture. I don't do email capture for follows, because I feel like an email is a lot bigger asset than a follow on BeatStars when it comes to trying to drive traffic. So that's the amount of free downloads I got in the last 90 days. And you know, you got likes there, reposts, follows 178, comments, replies, no replies, and the Voloco, which is the when people write over the beat, 29. So that's just a quick rundown of the BeatStars statistics if you're wondering to see what that looks like for the amount of sales that I got. Next is Airbit. I've made $724.95 off this site, and the really cool thing here is you can see the different genres that sold. I'm a pop producer. I feel like it's really important to the context. $10,000 I think is a really great achievement in the first 6 months of a year, because it's quite hard in the pop industry, especially because it's not as big as the hip hop industry, so it's not really the sort of genre that you associate with beat making. That's not me making excuses for not making more sales. It just is what it is. You know, when beat making started, it wasn't for the pop industry or country or acoustic. That's something that's been introduced over time and is getting more popular. So $724.95. As you can see, we had quite a good start to the year of Airbit, and I was really confident that we were going to really get somewhere with it this year, but since April it's had taken a little bit of a nosedive, which is fine. Airbit's never my biggest earner anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. The next is Soundi. Now, I could do a whole other video about Soundi. Soundi's a lot newer on the scene than these other ones for beat selling, but Soundi is now the basis of my actual website, so I use the Soundi version of the Pro page as my beat store. It's just so much better than the BeatStars Pro page. It's not even comparable. You get all these other statistics. You get, so if you link up with Zapier as well, when you get an abandoned cart and you get an email capture, you can actually send automated messages. Basically, without going into too much information, it's very e-commerce friendly, which drives more sales for the traffic that you get. And I'll show you where the traffic goes to in a second for these ones, but we've made $3,000 on Soundi this year, and this is all basically from traffic driven externally. This isn't actually on Soundi that I've made these sales. I think probably about 200 of this is from the Soundi marketplace. So if you're watching this wondering to get on Soundi, don't get on Soundi for the marketplace. It's not really got the biggest marketplace like BeatStars does. I've been driving all my traffic to my website. So Soundi is basically, again, my website. So just keep that in mind when you see this information. But you get some really cool like statistics with this, which you could break down for the longest time, and it's really helped me to understand my market and the sort of people who buy my beats a lot better as well. Now let's the one other thing as well is invoices. I can't show you my Intuit account because there's a lot of personal information on there which I don't want to show on YouTube, but the rest of the amounts so far I've made this year in invoices is $1,430. Now that's custom beat making and people who wanted to settle outside of the beat store. So that's that final amount of money, totaling at $10,000 that we made this year. Now, how have we actually made them sales? Because it's easy to account for the marketplace sales, for example, on Airbit, on the Soundi marketplace, that $200, and on the BeatStars marketplace, I've had to do no marketing for that. But that doesn't actually contribute for a large amount of my sales, because over 50% of these sales, I'd say probably over 60%, has come from me driving traffic to it. So let's break down how I'm driving traffic to my beat store. Firstly, we have my model of the YouTube type beat channels. Now, when I say my model, you'd be saying, Joe, that's already been a thing probably for a longer time than I've known beat selling has existed, which you would be right in saying. But I have a new strategy which I've adopted this year, which has helped me to drive more traffic to my beat stores and to be a little bit more niche on the sorts of artists that I'm targeting. This has helped me to get more sales in my chosen niche. So the first thing we got is my main type beat channel. As you can see here, we got monetized this year as well, which is really cool. So we've earned £116 from, I'm from the UK, by the way, that's why that's in pounds. This year from the beat store, we got 125,000 views this year on beats. The channel's kind of stagnated a bit. There's a couple of things that I am starting to try very slowly, which I hope in the long run is going to actually now increase the amount of views I get on this channel, mainly because this channel now, it used to be for posting all my beats on, but because again, this has got 1,800 subscribers and I want this to still be my main type beat channel. So one thing I'm really focusing on this year is uploading beats of newer songs which have just been released. So we're talking Sabrina Carpenter's latest song Espresso, for example, when Taylor Swift released a new album. Post Malone's got a new album coming soon which I'm going to be targeting for type beats and that. Basically trying to put early stock in artists' new songs, because I feel like that's a really good way to grow, especially in 2024 if you want to get a lot of views. So this channel is basically focusing on beats in a newer genre or a newer type of song that's come out. Then next we've got my reposting channel, as I've got over 500 beats, and the first one is synth pop beats, and I've also got another one for indie pop beats and piano ballads. This is because even though I've been working in pop over the past 3 years, I've been sending beats, I've been experimenting a lot with different genres, and it's led me to this point where I have loads of different beats which I've uploaded on YouTube, but I feel like I could still squeeze a little bit more juice out the lemon. So I started reposting channels in specific genres and niches within genres to try and get more views on my beats. The first one was my synth pop beats, which this year's got me an extra 9,986 views on my synth pop beats, which we have actually got sales from this. This traffic is driven to my Soundi pro page, which I mentioned here. So this is one of the first traffic drivers to one of to my actual main website. And it drives to specific beats, not just driving to the website as well. Next is indie pop beats. Now this is more focusing on Lanny and Lauv type beats, a little bit of the 1975 sprinkled in there as well. And this year so far we've got 54,000 views of this channel, gained 369 subscribers, and this is actually driving traffic to BeatStars. Now it's a bit weird to say, but this is because when I first started diverting all traffic away from my BeatStars Pro page to Soundi, it actually affected my BeatStars Marketplace sale, because beats I was uploading weren't ranking as high on BeatStars Marketplace because they weren't getting as many views, which was them views were coming from my YouTube channel. It's a little bit complicated, but trust me, it all makes sense. So for that reason, this still drives traffic to my BeatStars Pro page, not the Marketplace. And then the last one we got, which is the newest one that I've got going, and this is my pop ballad beats. This channel actually gained a lot of momentum at the start of the year, but it's suddenly just crashed, so I'm currently trying to recover that. But again, 49,000 views so far this year on that one. So you can see we're getting about 250 to 300,000 views on YouTube, and this one's also been directed to my main website, my Soundi Pro page, for example. Then the next thing you do, obviously, is with all of this, we're trying to encourage free downloads and then trying to get people from email marketing. So I also use Brevo for email marketing. To date we've gained 4,370 total contacts, and that's 96 over the last 30 days. So you can see the kind of growth that that's getting, and that's basically my business model. I try and get people to download the beat for free so they can write over it, and then I retarget them with your marketing and try to get them to get the sales. Or even without the email marketing, if they download the beat for free, write over it, and they come back to my beat store and purchase at a later date. I do find this Soundi does give that sort of information. A lot of people who buy my beats had visited my beat store prior and had downloaded the beat for free, so it shows that it works, and that's why I prioritize free downloads over follows, especially on BeatStar, for example. Then the last thing that I'm doing to drive traffic to my main beat store, which is Soundi, is TikTok. Now this is something that's kind of an untapped market. I don't have the biggest TikTok account in the world. I've only got 1,700 followers. But the thing I only focus on TikTok is this metric right here, profile views. As you can see here, over the past 30 days, we've been doing some really good stuff, last 6 days, sorry, where sometimes we're getting 31 profile visits a day, which then leads to people clicking on the link in my bio to go check out my beat store. Now, there's been a little bit of a dip here, but since the 21st of June, I've been on holiday, so that's why that's dipped, but I'm back now, and you can see the sort of numbers we're breaking in again. 31, that normally means about, if we go for the 10% rule, that means 3 people visiting my website a day, and that's 3 more than would have if I didn't do TikTok at all. I do a lot of TikTok lives. TikTok lives has enabled me to start building relationship with artists, and I've actually got about 3 or 4 artists who regularly buy my beats now based on interactions on TikTok lives. I like to do my beat making on TikTok lives now so people can see the beats getting made, and I also post content as well advertising the making of beats to try and get some followers as well. But the main thing I focus on with TikTok is actually TikTok lives, because that's what gets the most follows and profile visits and engagement, and helps me to start building a relationship with artists, because there's that kind of face-to-face interaction in a way. So when we go back to the page once more, now you want to kind of look at the breakdown of how everything's been done. So when we look back, this stat here for the year 2024, you can see that BeatStars is still by far my biggest earner. That's natural considering the size of the BeatStars marketplace, and my main YouTube type beat channel and my indie pop beats, which are my 2 biggest YouTube type beat channels, also drive traffic to my BeatStars Pro page. So with that all considered, BeatStars was always going to be the biggest earner still. Airbit's my least earner, but it's, you know, it's just still good to have. It by far pays off the annual subscription I've used for it, and I also use Airbit monetization as well to get money from that. Invoices is the second least, and lastly was Soundi is my second biggest earner, and having this been my website since the start of April, I highly expect this in the future to eventually take over BeatStars. It's only a matter of when, not if. So yeah, guys, that is the quick summary of this video. One thing I will say is if you've got any questions after everything that I've said, drop it in the comment below, or if you want me to break it down in a future video, I'll be happy to do. There is more videos coming this week with some detailed breakdowns of certain things you can do to increase your beat sales as a beat seller. But till then, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.